time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
So Sparrow finally got back to Cameron after a long absence, and he had to keep his head, or they had to keep their head down low. There was stuff going on about the leaks going out to Matt Bellany, and they wanted to know who was leaking stuff about Kennedy leaving to the press. Anyway, the whole scoop is about Ahsoka. And yes, there were people that were let go at Lucasfilm, but they were support staff. That doesn't mean that bigger axing isn't going to happen, if you know what I mean. That there will be people in positions that will be going. So let's talk about Ahsoka, because this is who the scoop is about, Ahsoka Season 2. So we know now for sure that there's going to be 2 parts to Ahsoka Season 2. Peridia, Part 2 will be in the galaxy far, far away, and that will deal with Ezra and Admiral Akbar versus Thrawn, and I think we will probably get cameos of Han and Leia and Luke and everybody. So we've got Baylan Skoll going to that beam of light that was coming up out of that peak. Last time we saw him, he was standing on the finger of the hand of the Father, pointing out to the peak. The son next to him on his left, the daughter on the right, and she's just that statue that, I don't know what you call that, I'm going to call it a monument, is destroyed. It's cut in half. And it's interesting because while that's there, and you see it, the daughter's paraclete is still flying around with Ahsoka. So it's like, but you got to remember, part of Ahsoka is from the daughter. Remember, Anakin channeled the daughter's, what was left of the daughter's life, into his Padawan to save Ahsoka's life. So, I mean, think about it. Now, who's calling Baylan Skoll? We didn't get any spoilers, I think, on that. Cameron was very careful not to say what he thought it would be, and that's okay. I think it's either the son or Aboleth herself. But it has something to do with the Mortis gods, obviously, there they are. And it has something to do with what's going on in the regular galaxy. Baylan Skoll is going to find Anakin. Right? Anakin is taking the place of the Father because he is the chosen one. And he's going to be in the world between worlds. And if that's the case, then we're going to have an interesting little moment of reality for Baylan Skoll, because he's not expecting that, I don't think. I don't think Baylan realizes that the legend, the mythology, the prophecy of the chosen one was made manifest by Anakin's being there. And Skoll apparently is going to try to get into Mortis so he can destroy the Mortis gods. He's going to be very disappointed and become the controller of the Force. This is more, I think, ambitious power mongering. It literally makes the ambitions and power mongering of Palpatine look like humility. Okay, in my opinion, it just, So we've got Sabine as the witness to what's going on. Ahsoka and Anakin will probably have to deal with Balin, or maybe Balin will end up being an ally, helping them to put Abeloth back behind the maw. There's Ray Stevenson, the late great Ray Stevenson, standing on the hand of the Father. And what a beautiful shot. I mean, that was so cinematic of him standing there, and then you get the far off shot. It's just gorgeous. And you know what? Why is he so set on doing this? Who called him there? See, this is why I think he thinks he's going to kill the Mortis gods. I think he's going to be very surprised. If it's the sun, that makes sense to me, because he said things in episode 1 that sounded like the sun. And this is Rory McCann, who's taking over the part of Balin Skull. Excellent casting. I can't say enough. What a great idea. And, you got to look at Balin and go, do you understand what you're doing? Do you understand what these beings are? All right? Again, he said things that sounded like the sun. So it could be Abeloth. My money is on the sun. Abeloth still could be involved, right? But my money is on the sun. And remember, the sun is still alive because he was killed, in quotation marks, killed by Anakin's lightsaber, not the dagger of Mortis, right? The father committed seppuku, and the daughter jumped in front of the father to save him, and the son accidentally killed her with it and went into a rage. I'm really hoping that whoever they get to play either the son or Abeloth is worthy of it. I really don't want to see Sam Witwer. I don't like him. The man is a voice actor, and he has all the humility of a 5-time Oscar winner. I mean, he's just, I don't like him. He's arrogant. Anyway, now let's talk about the second half.
Conviction.
So part 2 of Ahsoka season 2 will be concentrating on the galaxy far, far away and the competition, or the strategies of Admiral Akbar versus Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, we found out what's in those boxes, those caskets that were brought back from Peridia to Dathomir. And those caskets are dead Dathomirian witches, dark night sisters, okay? So that's, I think, Thrawn's plan. I kind of figured they were dead witches, but there's also something about zombie stormtroopers called night troopers. But we saw the Great Mothers cast a spell on the dead bodies of the troopers, and they kept coming after Ahsoka and Sabine. So we saw that. Okay, we know that they're going to do that. So they're going to have both. Does it clash with Moff Gideon's cloning garbage and the necromancer project? Yeah, it does, and I don't think Thrawn will support any of that. I think he's found a way to bring back the Empire, and he doesn't need Palpatine's consistent bullshit of trying to live forever, okay? The one thing about it, and I really hope that Dave explains this. If you remember, one of the few people Palpatine was deathly afraid of was Mother Talzin. Because Sith alchemy and the dark side magic the witches of Dathomir, the Night Sisters practiced, it's very different, and it's one of those things where you can understand why Palpatine would have been a little intimidated by her, because she was as powerful as he was, in my opinion. Now, she did end up getting herself killed when the droid armies led by Count Dooku decided to, get rid of her, and because they were being pests and they tried to kill him. They tried to kill Dooku, if you remember right. So this is one of the things you got to think about, is what are the Imperial Remnant going to do when Thrawn shows up and the not exactly grand-looking Chimera demanding that he gets his way. I predict everybody but a few will fall on their knees and say, yes, sir. He will unite that remnant. I have a feeling that he's going to get into quite a fight with Moff Gideon, and I think Moff Gideon is going to end up the loser of that one. But this is what I was saying. So we're going to have the first half, Peridia, World Between Worlds, Mortis. Second half, the Galaxy. And it's going to feature Ezra and everybody. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and saying we're going to get the cameos. Han, Luke, and Leia. Because by the time this thing gets done, Kennedy's will definitely be gone. When you've got Jeff Snyder basically telling people on his official emails that Kennedy's leaving in August. Why hold back? Why do it? Why do that? And if you remember right, Jon Favreau spent a lot of money on deep faking Han, Luke, and Leia. All right. So that's what Ahsoka's going to be. Again, there were layoffs at Lucasfilm, but they haven't affected the people that really need to go. It was mostly support staff, assistants, etc. But that doesn't mean people like Pablo Hidalgo, etc., won't be going. I think there's probably a plan to streamline Lucasfilm, and there are things that people do there that are a waste of money, like local outreach. What is that? Why? Why would a film studio need that? And there you go. But anyway, this scoop was a good one. It made me think, and I now can't wait to see Ahsoka Season 2. We're going to have a lot of fun, guys. We are going to have a lot of fun next year. This is Steph, signing out. See you around the galaxy.